so faithful. I just got my IV out, and I just got a breast biopsy. I was supposed to get 2, and one of them is not growing, so they are not suspicious that it's cancer. The second one has grown, and they are, so we went ahead and did that biopsy, and it didn't even hurt. It didn't even hurt. My prayer was that God would comfort me and surround me with a great team, and that I would do this painless. And I had the best team. I felt so much at peace, and I had 0 pain. 0. I will be bruised and sore in about an hour when the pain medicine wears off, but I'm so thankful that this is over. We can move on to the next phase. Hey friends, I just took the best 3-hour nap after my procedure, and it was glorious. Glorious. I have not vlogged very well leading up to the procedure because your girl's mind has been struggling, and so I've been very intentional with my thoughts in my mouth, the words in my mouth. And if I do not feel like I can talk about it without triggering thoughts of negativity or creating a space that the enemy can come in and try to hinder me in this faith fight, then I'm just not even going to give any type of power to that. So I have literally not talked about it, and have just been doing my healing scriptures out loud. I woke up this morning and really focused on studying Psalm 91, which was so good for me today. That the Lord is my strength and my refuge. He is someone I can trust. His wings cover me, and He is a shelter for me, and His angels are around me fighting for me. That I am heard, I am honored, I will enjoy the fullness of my salvation, that I will trample on the enemies, that nothing can hinder or harm me, even if it's falling 10 times on one side and 1,000 on the other. It's not for me. And so those are the kind of things I meditated on this morning and really just took in, and just had worship music on the whole time we went to the hospital. And man, it just went awesome. My veins are no good since chemo, and they were able to get me first stick, first time, with very little pain. And I had an incredible team. They rubbed my back and held my hand the entire time I was face down in the bed and the guy was doing the procedure. I felt very little pain, and I was supposed to undergo 2 biopsies, but they only ended up doing 1. I think I said it in the video there as I was in the dressing room, but one of the spots hadn't grown at all since our last imaging, and so if it doesn't grow, they don't suspect it's cancer because cancer grows. So they said, we're just going to leave that one alone right now. We're just going to test 1 at this moment and call it good. So I was thankful for that and celebrate that victory. They said it'll take about 48 hours to get the results in, which is pretty normal every time I've waited for biopsy results. But since we are on a Thursday, I will more than likely have to wait till Monday to hear anything back from my doctor, and dependent on what those say will depend and determine how we move forward. So if it does say that yes, this is cancer, we move forward with the surgery plans. If it says no, it's not, then I actually have to go back and get another MRI biopsy on the right breast, because I have a spot in that one that's suspicious as well. So they will want to test that one as well before completely saying no to cancer and saying no to surgery. So there's still a process, still like a whole thing that I'm checking off the boxes to get to where we need to go. But today I celebrate, we're one step closer, and I conquered a fear today, and it was not near as bad as I thought it would be. I am very sore right now, and the pain is starting to settle in as I'm waking up. But I expect lots of bruising. Most times that I do these types of biopsies, my breast will turn all sorts of colors: purple, black, green, blue, all of the stuff over time. But I've been keeping an ice pack in my bra and some lavender on me. So thank you, Jesus. We're one step closer, and we're just going to take the victories that, you know what, God is in control and he is good. So I will keep you guys updated. Hey friends. So it's Sunday morning. I'm getting things ready for the church media wise. And I have not updated y'all in a while. Let's see, my biopsy was on Thursday and it is now Sunday, obviously. And I don't know why it's been hard for me in the last several days to just really articulate my feelings. I feel like I'm processing so many things that I'm having a hard time talking about it, to be quite honest. And that's okay. Sometimes space is a good thing. And so that's what I'm doing, giving myself some space. But I do want to stay committed to vlogging and sharing this whole journey, not just for people who are going through a journey themselves and can look at this and see how I walked it out in faith, and hopefully it can give you some hope and some encouragement, but also as something to look back on, for me to look back on once all of this is over, and something for my kids to watch when they get older and see, you know, how mama conquered something massive with Jesus by her side. And so I'm doing it for many reasons. So I want to stay committed, but Friday, I got a phone call from my oncologist office saying that I am scheduled this Friday at 9:45 a.m. to discuss my biopsy results with Dr. Williams. So that leads me to believe, unless I'm just assuming, that the results showed what it needed to show so that we can move forward with the process. Because I do know that the medical team did tell me if it was negative, I would be scheduled for a secondary biopsy on the right side, and nothing was said about any more testing. So I'm a little bit nervous. I was still, holding on to faith that, this could come back negative, and maybe it is, who knows what he's going to say Friday. I just feel like it's shown what it needs to show to move forward with surgery. I'm hoping that I'm wrong and we go in and he's like, it was negative, and schedules the other biopsy to prove that that's negative as well. But we will see. I feel like I haven't. I feel like I haven't allowed myself to feel my emotions. Honestly, since probably like the first or second week of this journey starting over again, I've shut off all of my emotions. And I've glazed it over with like, God's got this. And he does. And I have full confidence in the fact that God's got this. But despite strong faith. This is hard. I think the thought of going through a whole nother journey that's gonna alter the way I look forever. It's not like going through chemo and losing your hair for a season, but your hair growing back. We're talking about the permanent removal of my body. And I'm so grateful to Jesus for healing me of so many insecurities over the last 2 years that I've been walking this journey. Because it's not necessarily the fear of feeling unattractive or less desirable to my husband, because those are natural feelings. It's more so the grieving of something I'm losing, part of me. I'm grieving, and I haven't allowed myself to grieve because I've glazed it with everything's okay because God's got it. And although that's very true, I don't think it upsets God to allow me to feel the emotions of the battle I'm in, because I still give him glory at the end of the day. I am very nervous about Friday, and I just got off stage. I just got through worshiping, and the last song that we sang is "I'm Gonna See a Victory." The lyrics go, "I'm gonna see a victory. I'm gonna see a victory, for the battle belongs to the Lord." You take what the enemy meant for evil and you turn it for good. And it just hit me while I was up there. I've been in a waiting period for the last, honestly, 4 months since we first found that there was stuff there. And I've been able to just go on about life like nothing's changing. And now that the biopsy's done and the scheduled appointment to go over the results is here, it's like everything's becoming real now, and I'm having to face the giant. And although I know the end of the story, David cut the giant's head off with his own sword. And I know that I will win this battle. It's still scary. I just looked over and seen a verse right here on Brandon's desk. Joshua 1:9. It says, "Be strong and courageous." You can't make this up because I didn't know this was sitting here. It says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be terrified. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. I am in a weird place of strength in grief. A place where I feel the faithfulness of God in the midst of loss, and peace in the midst of uncertainty. And that's how I know that God has got this, because despite what I'm facing, I still feel freedom. I still feel the fullness of my salvation. I still feel God. But, oh man, I'm starting to feel the feelings too. I'm just thankful that God has so much mercy and grace towards us that he allows us to feel these feelings and still upholds us. So whatever you're facing, don't glaze it over. Take a moment to feel it, because then God can allow you to heal. Anyway, it's a vulnerable moment in our very messy production room. I almost didn't record it, but I hope it helps somebody. Okay, not the best lighting, not the best situation, but you're set up nonetheless, and welcome to my kitchen. Nothing grand, nothing luxurious. We like the simple life around here. So these are ginormous cucumbers. I'm fixing to peel them and update you on what's going on. Currently, I am meal prepping a bunch of food for the week. So I'm doing chopped salad. I'm gonna do a cucumber salad. I'm going to do a big bowl of pico de gallo. I'm going to do homemade hummus, homemade avocado cilantro dressing. I'm going to do vegetable stir fry, and I am going to make me a bunch of little mason jars of overnight oats. And I think that's it as far as prepping goes for the week. So I'm gonna be chopping and dicing and mixing and cooking and doing all the stuff. So, I got a phone call today from my oncologist. Well, not him personally, but his office. He, let me know, well, they let me know that Dr. Williams did try to push through my PET scan once more, and even did a peer-to-peer consultation with my insurance, and they still deemed it medically unnecessary for me to have a PET scan. Why do insurances do this? Why do they act like this is something that is, you know, just unnecessary for us to even be asking for a PET scan? It doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. But regardless, he has scheduled me a full body bone scan and a CT of my chest and abdominal area. I have to be truthful about it. Like, I am kind of freaked out, like super freaked out, because my experience with these two scans was horrendous last time. I feel like I'm in deja vu right now. I literally feel like I'm in deja vu. These scans are to be sure everything is still localized, because if by chance it wasn't, we would not be able to do the surgery, because that would be considered metastatic stage 4 cancer, and you wouldn't be eligible for a mastectomy. So he wants to make sure, which he told me he really doesn't have any worries that it's spread because I don't have any symptoms of METS. So, you know, he just has to make sure so that we can get this surgery scheduled. Hold on. I need one of those choppers, like that you can just put the stuff in there and then push it and it chops it into perfect cubes. That's what I need to do. Anyway, this week is my husband's birthday. He turns 38, and he's kind of struggling with celebrating himself because he's worried about me and all of the appointments that I have this week, the day after his birthday. So I'm trying to make sure we celebrate him. So I'm doing a birthday cake at youth group because me and him do youth. We're going to do a birthday cake with the teens. And we're also going to go out as a family on his actual birthday and celebrate him. Cheers to the morning. I got my booby mug because it is so appropriate this morning. It is the appointment that I have been waiting for. At 9:45 this morning, I leave in 40 minutes to get there, and I've got to go get dressed, but I have been praying all morning. I have been getting my mind right. Today, we discussed the biopsy results, and if it is what they suspect, I am praying and believing that we can come to an understanding of what I feel is best for my body, that my surgeon will hear me and respect it, but also that we can have some sort of idea of when this will take place so that I can kind of start planning. Because as a homeschool mom, I need to start planning out my kids' homeschooling, get it ready for my mother. She's coming in from out of state to take care of the kids while Brandon takes care of me, so she's going to be doing all of that. I also need to be able to tell my mom and dad when this is so they can travel in. They're traveling ministers, so they're pretty booked solid, and they've said if they need to cancel a meeting, they will, but they just need to know when that is. So I have so many working parts, plus ministry at the church, making sure it doesn't clash with events that we've got going on. So many things. So I need some sort of idea. We have been going for 2 months now, up in the air of when this is going to happen. So I need an idea of when it's going, if this is happening, because I still am holding on to the very real possibility that they can say it's negative. They didn't really see anything else in the MRI. Good news. We don't think you have breast cancer. It's just a fluke. And I will praise the Lord, and we will celebrate. We will throw a dadgum party if that's the case. And Jesus is so good. But regardless, he's good no matter what. And I need a time span. So I am preparing my heart and mind. I got my Bible out. Guys, I'm a paper girl. If you don't know me in real life, here's the deal. I carry paper everywhere. I carry notebooks. I carry planners. I carry Bibles. I love paper. I'm a writer. When you get to the core of who I am, I'm a writer. I'm a words girl. I'm a paper girl. So I happened to flip my Bible open today, and you'll never believe what it landed on, and I know it was Jesus because it's underlined in red. I underlined it once in my life. I don't know when, but I underlined it in red, and it just my eyes gravitated towards the red underlining. It says, "The test was over. The devil left, and in his place angels came and took care of Jesus's needs." And that's in Matthew 4 and verse 11, and this is actually titled The Test. Chapter 4 is titled the test, not the chest. We're gonna be discussing my chest today, but this is titled The Test, and my chest has been the test. Okay, you like how I did that there? Jesus had fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, and every single time the enemy came and tempted him 3 times after being in this place of the wilderness. He was in the wilderness and he was hungry and he was tired and weak, obviously, because when you fast for 40 days and 40 nights, there's going to be side effects to that. And the enemy came and tempted him multiple times. 3 times he said, make these stones into bread, satisfy your hunger. And Jesus responded, it is written. And the second time he said, throw yourself off of the cliff, just kill yourself already, and command your angels to protect you. And Jesus responded, it is written. And then Satan brought Jesus to the highest mountaintop and showed him all of the kingdoms and said, I will give you all of these kingdoms if you bow down to me and worship me. And Jesus responded a 3rd time with, it is written. And then it said, the test was over. The devil left. And in his place, angels came and took care of Jesus's needs. Sorry about the ambulance in the background. But I just want to encourage you, as I'm encouraging myself this morning, I have continuously raised a glass to what the word says, and I have said, it is written. I have used this word. I have walked around my house applying the word, just like this, to my problem area while quoting scriptures. And I believe that we are at a point right now where the test is over. The devil is going. Angels are coming to minister to my needs. And today is going to be a day of answers and peace. And so, okay, this video, is 6 minutes long. So I'm going to let you go and I will update you later. Friends, I'm here. I'm back. I looked super cute today too for my doctor's appointment, and I already switched back into my sweatshirt, took my cute little headband off that I had on. I'm comfy. I've been home for about 5 hours, but I have news for you. Every single thing that I said I wanted God to do today, He did. So let me just jump in and give you the bad news first. So the bad news is that it is cancer, and my surgery is November 10th at 8:30 in the morning. I am not doing reconstruction. I'm going flat and learning to love my new body, because I feel like that's best for me. I don't feel like I want to put myself through multiple surgeries after already being through so much. And honestly, I've become so desensitized to boobs that I don't care to have any. This is a conversation my husband and I have had many times in the last 4 months, even before I came out public with this information, and both of us are on the same page with this decision, and I cannot feel more at peace with this. My surgeon was so amazing in hearing my heart and respecting my wishes, and my husband is such an amazing support system for me. He loves me no matter what. So that's the bad news. The good news is my surgeon did tell me that the cancer that this biopsy tested for is not invasive cancer. So for those of you who do not know breast cancer lingo, when I was first diagnosed, I was diagnosed with invasive ductal carcinoma, meaning that beginning stages of breast cancer had broke out of my ducts and into my body, making it an invasive cancer that can spread to my lymph nodes and eventually metastasize. This cancer is what they call DCIS. I'll put the words down here that it stands for. And it is considered stage 0. So it's beginning stages, meaning it is non-invasive, meaning I will not have to do chemo or radiation. as long as the other spots in my breast test for DCIS when pathology comes back. My doctor's very hopeful that that's what all of this is. And he really thinks it's a very small percentage that anything will come back invasive. So, very good news that this is such a different scenario. Yes, it's resulting in a surgery, but it could be so much worse. And I'm so thankful to Jesus that he's kept his hand on this, has kept it contained, has kept it at a low grade and a very non-aggressive breast cancer. This is not like the first journey. And I'm just believing I will not have to do chemo. I will not have to do radiation. All margins will be clear, lymph nodes will be clear, and any other spots are going to test for DCIS or benign tumors. And so I can move on with my life, and this will be over once surgery's done. So the other good news is that if I wanted to change my mind several years down the road and don't like being flat, he said that I have not burned bridges by going flat. I can still do reconstruction later on. So that is still an option if I want to allow myself to mentally heal and physically heal and then tackle that and revisit it down the road. Although I don't think that's going to be the case for me. And if it is, you know what? I have the right to change my mind. It's my body. But as for now, I feel so much peace about my decision. And although this is going to be a huge thing and a massive journey, and I am sure I will have my bad days, I feel relieved and so thankful to Jesus. One, relieved that it's finally on the books and I have no more waiting and no more wondering, because that was playing a mental game with me. And two, that I can get this off my chest. You like how I did that right there? I can get this off my chest. So I celebrate today. It was definitely a win. I have 3.5 weeks to prepare for massive life change, mentally, spiritually, and just in my everyday life. So I've got lots of homeschooling stuff to prepare for my kids and my mom, who's going to be taking care of that, household stuff to prepare, surgery stuff to buy. I've got 2 scans coming up, a port flush, a virtual appointment for a undergarment that they're fitting me for, that I'll wear after the surgery, and a pre-op appointment. So I have quite a few things that I'm doing over the next 3 weeks to get ready for this. And I have to be at the hospital at 6:30 in the morning on the 10th for me to start this journey. It's funny because I did my biopsy the same week, 2 years later, the same week that I did my very first biopsy. And I'm doing my double mastectomy 2 years later, the same week that I did my very first chemotherapy treatment. I don't know how this is happening. It's all like deja vu, but I am just celebrating. This is going to be the end of it. And these weeks won't represent trauma anymore, but they will represent victory. And instead of mourning on the week of October that diagnosis has happened and the week of November that treatments were started, I will celebrate, because it will be the last time I have to do this, because I have overcome in Jesus' name, and cancer will never touch me again. So that's where we're at. We're celebrating. My husband's still in bed sick. My mother-in-law was amazing. My mother-in-law, we went out to lunch at one of our favorite places and had brunch, and she was amazing. I could not be more grateful. I have an amazing relationship with her, and it's something I've always prayed for, and I'm just grateful that I had her with me. My parents are not here, so they could not be apart, and I'm just grateful that I have other parents that love me and I can trust. So she stepped in, and anyway, so that is it. But I hope that you enjoyed this short vlog, and now you know what's going on. and lots of talking. Not a lot of stuff happening. It's been crazy, so I haven't done good at vlogging events in our life, but I will do better over the next 3 weeks as I prep, and then we'll just keep you updated throughout the journey. So subscribe if you're loving the content. Like this video, leave me a comment, and I will talk to you guys soon.